Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Lumiere log number 19. I am Tim Williams, this is Joshua Kirk, and we're coming at you today from Josh's side of the desk. You would have noticed that we're actually looking at moving out of this space here because of the confined elements we're working with, being the walls. So we're looking for more...
So lame.
We are proposing that we move into a new space in town, so we're actually really looking forward to that. There's actually a lot to get sorted. We're hoping to make this a quick move, but we realise that there's going to be a lot to get done in terms of fit out. We're looking at custom building a lot of furniture. It's going to be a big piece of the pie for us.
It's not just as simple as finding a space and saying, cool, we'll have that space, let's throw everything in a trailer and move. For us, we're expanding with the move, so we're taking a lot more floor space. We're negotiating subleases within the new space, and we're just prepping for the need to build a whole lot more furniture, build a studio and fit it out with a bunch of equipment and gear. And so financially, logistically and practically speaking, on all levels, it's just this big step up. Over the last few months, we've looked at tons of different spaces while we've been in town, and a few spaces here in Richmond as well, and just constantly throwing ideas out there. There's one particular space in Nelson that we have our eyes set on, and for the last 2 weeks, Tim particularly has been doing a ton of work behind the scenes on the financial side, just trying to wrangle the numbers to see if the move is viable.
We were looking at the rate of growth that Lumiere has experienced over the last 10-11 months, and we knew that if we were to take a conservative step, we would only be moving into a bigger space within the next probably 12 to 24 months, and there's a lot of just wasted time, energy, resources and money and just having to move. So we thought, instead of just taking that conservative step, why don't we actually take a risk, go something bigger, mitigate that risk through subleases and other streams of income, so that we can actually grow faster and hit our 5-year goals a whole lot sooner. So it's been a real exciting journey. We've been doing some cash flow forecasting with our accountant, and the good thing is everything's looking great and it's looking achievable so far. One of the primary reasons that is driving us towards needing a bigger space is simply the workflow efficiencies that we currently have. So we're actually losing a lot of time on setting up and packing down, and we need a dedicated space where it can be permanently set up for photos, and it's literally just changing the lights around, the light configuration for the shot itself. We're looking at building a big cyc wall, or infinity wall, depending how you view it, that will have a 90-degree wall in it, have some natural light in there to be able to play with, but also to be able to control it with studio lights. We also have a lot of workflow inefficiencies on the video front, one being this log, but also two being the editing space.
That's right, so when we set the company up, it was just Tim and I next to each other, and we generally just handled files separately. I was doing a lot of the video work, Tim was doing a lot of the photo editing. I'm currently working off a Drobo 5D3, which has all of our data. It's a RAID array of 5 drives, 8 terabytes each, to hold everything that Lumiere has produced to date. That's backed up on the cloud, so it's nice and secure. We've got other backups. But what happens when you bring another editor in is they need to work off it and they can't access that drive directly. So what we've had to do is buy a whole lot of SSD drives, copy each individual project onto those drives and distribute them to the team depending on who's working on them. They do their changes, then we consolidate it back together when it comes to archiving. But what this does is it creates this massive bottleneck of data management, and we're adding 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours to a project when we're consolidating. It's just not efficient at all. So one thing I'm really excited about with this new space is a server where everyone can access it at the same time and collaborate on the same project within DaVinci Resolve 16 Studio. We can literally be working on the edit, on the color, on the sound design, all at the same time with multiple different people. So I'm really excited about the efficiency improvement. That doesn't necessarily represent the space that we're moving into, that's more just infrastructure on the back end. But when it comes to efficiency with the studio, having multiple setups always set up, for example, this log, this light, these mics can all be in a room set up on a permanent basis. We just jump in, record the log, push a button and leave. and we've used half an hour instead of a whole hour and a half setting it up, packing it down every single time we're doing it.
Another need that we have is actually wanting to bring the team together and create more of a collaborative workspace. So we're wanting to essentially bring everyone together to create more of that creative collaborative environment in the new space. The space has been great for the interim, but it's definitely not a long-term solution for us.
Tim mentioned earlier about the need to collaborate with other creatives and create a subleasing program for this new space, because Lumiere, if we're being honest, we can't occupy it all and take it over ourselves. We have the hope to grow into the space in the near future, but currently we're negotiating subleases with other creatives in Nelson who want to be part of a great collaborative space, but also have their own sort of corner within the space as well, their own room.
All this is tied into part of our pursuit of excellence of what we're trying to achieve in Lumiere and the content that we create. But also we really want to put a stake in the ground saying that what we are doing is going to be of excellence, and we want to be one of the greatest content creation studios in New Zealand, and be also to be able to create an environment where people love coming to work. And I think the space that we're targeting can really facilitate that.
We're creating an environment that's so much bigger than just Tim and myself now. I mean, there's so many clients involved, but particularly the 3 people that work for us at the moment. They come to work every day and we're responsible in some way for their well-being during those work hours, and it's really cool to be able to craft an environment that builds people up, encourages them and helps them really enjoy the life that they have.
So the past week I spent a bit of time in the studio punching out some content in the photo space, but this last week has pretty much been consumed by trying to get us into this new space and all the administration around that. So that's kind of where my head's been.
So currently we've talked through all the notes for the log. One thing I should point out is that I'm actually going to be away in August 3rd to the 21st.
Groundhog Day. This is like this time last year.
I have dumped him in the trenches and I'm out of here for another 3 weeks. We're going over to the UK again. It's going to be sick. See my...
Sick for you, bro.
It's going to be awesome. What will happen is I'll leave and Tim will have to move the office into the new space and settle in and video edit and cover the company and get work and pay the bills.
You'll come back to find that you're no longer a shareholder in Lumiere.
Wait.
Yo everyone, this is Lumiere log number 19. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're excited about what the future of Lumiere might entail.
We are.
And we certainly are. And so we thank you for being a part of it. We feel very loved and welcomed by all the comments and support that everyone gives us throughout the weeks. So if you do have something nice to say, drop it in the comment. Log number 19, I'm Tim Williams, Joshua Kirk, peace out.
Peace out.